This is a Kirkendall Barrett presentation, darling.
Feed me, meow, meow, meow.
Because of this podcast, I'm a gay icon.
I'm so hot. I'm so good looking. My salad dressing is amazing.
Like the internet at large, there are things you can do on the internet besides porn, but most of it's porn.
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Well, hello everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It is time for another episode of Lifetime of Hallmark, where we talk about your favorite movies on both Lifetime and the Hallmark channel and try to make sense of them. I am Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett.
And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers. And hello, Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
Hello, Samantha.
Our producer, we now have a producer, and our producer, Samantha, is joining us today. Hi, producer Samantha.
Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, you were so much fun the last time you were on the show.
Which, you know, that's now your new name, producer Samantha.
Well, thanks, guys. That's very kind. I appreciate it. And I'm happy to be producing.
Yay.
Producer Samantha.
What's
We're
so
so excited. We don't know what to do with ourselves.
I know, right?
Samantha, tell us what to do.
But this is good news. Yes, tell us what to do, because we don't know what to do with
Yeah, tell us
ourselves.
what to do.
What?
We're asking you to produce in the moment.
No, but we love this. I'm very excited for our future, having you here, having you on board.
I know.
And
we're growing up. We have a producer. We're growing up.
Yeah.
Because we haven't carved the space to do this stuff, some of the stuff that needs to be done.
That's
I've
true.
tried.
You guys have a really good podcast. That's really amazing. We just have to reach our people. They're out there waiting for you. We have a huge Lifetime and Hallmark audience waiting for you guys. Just waiting there. They're so excited to hear you.
Yes, I hope. And speaking of exciting, another week, another Pride.
So many prides.
I know.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Are
Happy
you all watching
Pride.
the Stanley Cup?
I'm sorry, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Are you all watching the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, it's super into
We
the
watched-
Stanley Cup right now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jason watched Ricky Martin's Cup.
I did. The Cup of Life.
Wow. And he performed?
Yeah, he was
Shake
the
My
headliner
Bonbon?
for LA Pride. He did do Shake Your Bonbon, yes.
Well, he could not perform in front of a gay audience and not shake his bonbon. Come on, he knows his audience.
This is true.
That's true. I will say that I'm excited about the Celtics being in the finals right now. So that's my straightest thing about me being a gay person.
Becomes a sports show.
That's where I fall off. I'm a big sports person, shockingly.
I just
Yeah,
love
the
that we've
Celtics are in the
already
finals.
that we've name checked the hockey league and the basketball league right out the
I
gate.
know. Look at us. We're so diverse.
I know, right?
I like that we identify that we have a distinct gay audience, like a gay kishy audience, and that's what we're pursuing. And now we're a sports
And
show.
a super
There we
straight
go.
audience,
Now
too.
we're a
Yeah,
sports show.
we've got them all.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I've never been to a professional NBA game, and I like basketball. Like,
Really?
I can
The
actually
Sixers
follow
game.
basketball. I've never been to an NBA game.
Oh, my
I went to a
goodness.
Sixers game years ago.
I love a baseball game, mostly, but basketball's okay. It's hard for me to follow the ball, and that's not a metaphor. It's just hard for me to see it. It goes
Yeah.
too fast.
I like
think
it
the
just
hockey
keeps
games-
moving because like football, like, and I've never been to an NFL game either, but like football just
No, I never did either.
moves, like they move like 2 inches and then they back up and then they go again. It's just like stop and go and stop and go. It's boring to me.
I think that's why I like it. Sorry, I couldn't
It's
help
all right.
myself. But I play
Baseball.
fantasy football too, and I'm a big fantasy football person, which is really hard as a queer, like non-binary person because my gay friends are like not into football, and then I have to like hang out with like my cis straight friends who are not into me as a non-binary person. So I'm like, this is a fun time. I'm in the middle somewhere.
I actually know plenty of gay guys that are in football.
Okay, well,
I
if you
do
can
too.
introduce me, that'd be great.
Just come to gym bar.
Oh, work out.
No, gym
No,
bar.
it's a bar.
Oh, it's a bar?
Gym Sports Bar.
Wait, what is Gym Bar?
It's a sports bar.
Samantha.
Oh no, where? Where is Gym Bar?
WeHo.
I don't know Gym Bar.
Gym Bar is like 3 doors down from Stash, which you say you love.
Really?
Yeah.
I do love it. Hey now.
No, that wasn't a
do love
dig.
it.
I just know that you like Stash, so I know you know proximity to other things.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
I guess I've never made it that far. Like, I guess that's happened. I've never made it that far down the street.
or how about for like my benefit of I can represent the audience that not familiar with WeHo. So what kind of neighborhood is WeHo? Is it a bunch of bars? Is that what's happening there?
Well,
It's gay
Is it like a
clubs,
neighborhood?
it's a gay neighborhood of LA. It is its own city.
Yeah.
We have our own government. As a city, we are 40 years old this year, I believe.
The city. Okay.
Yeah, 40 years old.
WeHo is.
WeHo is West
Yeah,
Hollywood.
West Hollywood.
It's 40 years old.
West Hollywood
Okay.
as a
Long history.
incorporated city is only 40 years old. It used to be this unincorporated part of LA. And because it was unincorporated, the police kind of left the area alone, which is why you have all of these nightclubs that sprung up in the 60s. Before that, there were casinos that all moved east to Las Vegas when the Strip blew up. So then all that real estate was empty, so they turned it into rock and roll clubs in the 60s. And in the 80s, the gay community was sort of coalescing here because police left them alone. The Russian community that was coming here from the fall of Russia, they were all moving here, and they were all getting upset about rising rents, so they formed their own government so that there would be rent control.
That's fantastic. This history that we're
yes.
giving our audience.
Yeah. And if
And
you
I asked the question, I'm taking some credit.
yeah, and West Hollywood also was used to be the hub for all of the trolleys in the city,
Oh, okay.
the Sherman Railway, because we used to be called the city of Sherman.
Would West Hollywood be comparable to like the West Village?
I'd say somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we have like, a strip where there's a bunch of gay bars, and then there's like further east, it's a lot more of the Russian community that's there. It's a very weird collection of people. It doesn't on paper seem like they should all be living amongst each other, but we do.
Yes.
I was walking in the West Village once with a woman, and this guy just looked at us and went, "Ew."
Wow. Wow. Holy shit.
You know that guy.
I know that guy.
Well, you don't know him. You don't know the exact guy, but you know that sort of guy. I guess I would say that.
Oh yeah. I do know that sort of guy. I totally do.
That's what I mean.
That's funny. That is funny. Well, I not only know that sort of guy, I know that sort of girl or lady. Kurt, do you have any Black China news?
Doing a piece of China.
China.
I'm talking China.
The Black China Report. Here's Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Okay, this is a recent article because last episode I made a mistake and did one that was a year old. But no, this is a recent article from People magazine. Black China thanks boyfriend Derek Milano for showing me true meaning of love on 1 year anniversary. Oh yeah, this gets really sappy. I read through this.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Black China and her boyfriend Derek Milano are celebrating a whole year of love on Monday, May 27th. China, 36, who now goes by her birth name, Angela White, shared a montage of cute photos and videos on Instagram of the couple taken over the past 12 months. Among the pictures and clips, the duo posed for several sweet selfies, as well as cuddling up to their cat and cheersing with their food. That's what it says. Happy 1 year anniversary at Derek Milano. Praying hands, emoticon, and heart. Reflecting on a year of pure magic and joy with you, my dearest Derek, White wrote in the caption. Your love, support, and friendship have filled my life with light and warmth. Thank you for showing me the true meaning of love. Here's to countless more years of love and togetherness. I cherish you always. Explosion emoticon, Rose emoticon, Angela #anniversary. Blessings. Reality star who added ATM loves still in love to the video. Continued. Okay. Let's see what else they say. Okay, so the Grammy singing songwriter also marked the. Wait, who's a Grammy winning songwriter? I guess the Derek Milano.
I think so.
Yeah, must be. Yeah, because I don't think she's won anything. Okay, so he also marked the pair's first anniversary on his own Instagram page. Yes, okay, sharing a cute clip of the couple dancing to Mario's "Let Me Love You," as well as a second montage video featuring more sweet memories. You can have everything in the world and still be unhappy. I found balance, happiness, and God when I met you. And I can't thank you enough for helping me grow as not only your man, but a man who genuinely loves his woman. Milano wrote in the caption, "This has been one of the best years of my life. We celebrated every single holiday together. We brought our families and close friends together. We grew together as God's children and have been living every day with love, pureness, and positivity," he continued. "I can't thank you enough for being such an amazing person, Angela. I love you so much, and that's never going to change. From our very first date to even breakfast this morning, it still feels surreal that I found my person. And God laced us with another heart, praying hands." Milano went on. 1 year down and an infinity to go. He concluded, "Happy 1 year anniversary, Angela." And Angela says, "They always say, don't go looking for love. Let love find you. In this case, love found us." I know that might sound cliche, but hey, it be like that sometimes.
It be like that.
And that's it. What's wrong with you, Jason? I was not looking at you because I was reading this article. And you look like you're
It sounds
had
like
enough.
AI wrote their relationship.
Oh my god!
It's just
Maybe they are
it's
AI.
just filled with all this bad flowery language. It you know what is Black China as a concept. Like our enjoyment of Black China and why we started talking about her on this show was like, you know, early episodes of Tom and Jerry, and they're fun to watch because they're sort of like chasing each other and like one's trying to pull one over, and like, you know, there's this certain formula to it that made it work. And then the later seasons are like, I don't know, why do they gotta be so mean to each other? And then Tom
like
and
when the
Jerry
Three
were
Stooges stopped smacking
friends.
each other.
Yeah, like when Tom and Jerry are friends, it's boring as hell. There's no reason to watch it. The formula has now changed. I feel like the formula for what made Black China enjoyable to follow is gone.
Well, I guess we can always talk about Tokyo Tony.
You could retire it and move on to someone else. But you just can't continue being. You can't continue being a what? Oh, well, Samantha, you're our producer. What do you think? Do you think we should continue with the Black China report? Should we?
I love the Black China report. I don't think we can finish that. I think it's a staple at this point.
I'm not complaining about the feature on the podcast at all. I'm just complaining that now the stories have all become this nonsense about how she's found love and God and peace, and it's just.
I agree.
It's a recipe I don't personally enjoy.
We missed the drama, the outfits.
Yeah, it's not like when she was at an airport screaming at people.
Everything. Yeah, we don't have what we used to have. We don't have what we used to have. And she's getting exponentially more calm, which is perhaps not the best, but.
Well, you can't keep being a train wreck because eventually you'll crash into.
I guess we might have to find a new train wreck. It's possible.
But I don't know though. I don't know how I'd feel though if we didn't talk about Black China anymore.
No, we can't cancel.
Again, I'm not saying we get rid of it, but there's something with just this path of hers, which it's going to become a point where the public as a whole is going to be bored about hearing about it too. So something's going to change. Just like the
Lori Loughlin report went away. Like we might have to.
Well, this was born out of a Lori Loughlin report. This was
a news thing when she was on the news. Yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying that I'm not saying get away from Black China, but perhaps we have to follow up Black China with We might have to find a new report. That's all.
There might be like a new spin on it, sort of like how
Yes, exactly.
how like Big Bang Theory went away, and then
young Sheldon.
Young
Don't get
Sheldon.
Kurt excited.
We're gonna
Yeah, the Young Sheldon's a good show. I saw those last week.
No, it's do not do this. Do not get Kurt excited.
I'm just saying maybe we do like Young Black China, like stories of like before she was famous.
China. Sorry, who is Young Black China? China.
Young Black China.
Like a Young Black China report. We do stories about her from before she was on reality TV.
I love that.
I did do an old article last week. I thought it was a mistake.
It's just like Samantha, start searching for Young Black China. That's just work for me.
Or like
Samantha, we have a producer now, so let's get Samantha on this. Because that's just like work for Samantha, which is fine. But let's go. Okay, I'll start researching Young Black China.
Okay.
All right, Young Black China. That's like my new job. I'm gonna be on a list at the end of this week.
See, and you laughed at me.
Is that kind of so? Is that kind of like remember when the Muppets became
Muppet
like
Babies?
Muppet Babies?
Yeah, and they weren't even Muppets. They were a cartoon. It was a pivot.
Young Black China Muppet Babies. Okay.
And like, not even
weird.
joking, this fall on CBS, they're doing a prequel to NCIS about the Mark Harmon's character called Young Gibbs.
Oh dear.
Young Gibbs.
Or no, it might be it might have a different name, but it basically is centered on Gibbs when he was like 19 or 20 or something like that.
That's why not? If you run out of ideas, you just make them younger.
Yeah.
Well, I don't love that, but here we go.
I don't know.
Because Gibbs from NCIS is the origin story everybody was clamoring for.
I know, right? I've never seen an episode of NCIS.
When my mom was still alive and I would go visit, procedurals were on all the time. And like these shows that have been on for like a 20 year span, like NCIS, for some reason,
stuff on now.
Every time I would go visit, I would end up seeing the same episodes in the rotation on USA or whatever. And I've seen like some episodes of Criminal Minds like 5 times, even though I've never seen the entire series.
I will say it was the same for me and my mom with Law and Order.
Yeah. Law and Order.
Same thing. It was the same thing. We also had like the exact same, like I would do the same. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like Law and Order is like bow, 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 bow. It was the same.
And those shows.
Sometimes I would call and she wouldn't want to come to the phone because she was watching her show, and I'm like, I'll tell you how it ends. They solve the crime.
Right?
They get the guy.
I got to be an extra on that there was a crossover CSI episode. So like Lawrence Fishburne was there. He was like staring at me for some reason. And then Gary Sinise. And I was so excited because it's Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah. Somebody
was like, hey, Gary. Gary looks like he lost some weight. He's like, stop eating these pizzas. It's like Gary Sinise.
What the hell?
Maybe that's the new segment, is Kurt just does Gary Sinise impressions every week.
I cut down on the pizza. I haven't been eating that. That's his secret.
Okay, but what kind of pizza?
Oh, good question.
Oh, it must have been some deep dish thing because he said they're saying he lost some weight.
Deep dish? Is he from Detroit?
And Chicago's got the deep dish, right?
Yeah. And also Detroit.
Wasn't he? I don't know, but he slowed down with the pizza.
Well, yeah, he was from Steppenwolf, so that is Chicago.
I signed a non-disclosure. I don't think I'm allowed to say stuff like that.
We can't give away the pizza.
Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna sue you.
The pizza secret.
I would love if Kurt were served with a cease and desist for talking about Gary Sinise's pizza eating.
It was certainly not pineapple and sardines. That's what I know.
We need something like that, though. That would get us on the map. Could you imagine podcast served with cease and desist?
For Gary Sinise.
No, we don't need that.
Yeah, for
we don't
all
need
the buzz that Gary Sinise is bringing to online engagement right these days.
Okay,
you
God.
signed an NDA.
TikToker Gary Sinise.
Oh, God. No, I don't want this. We don't need any A Lifetime
good
of
marketing.
Hallmark podcast does certainly not have any allegations toward Gary Sinise.
No,
That's our
we like
trademark.
Gary
Like,
Sinise. And
yeah,
Gary
we
Sinise
love
can
him.
always-
Walk around the house.
And we're
always come on
serving
and
no
defend himself.
papers. This is my legal notice because I cannot have this. No. And that's my producer's notice. We're fine.
He can always come on and defend himself.
Good God.
Kurt, what are you?
Nah,
You
not big
know.
enough. He's B-list.
Where are you going,
Oh
Kurt?
my God,
Where are you
Kurt.
going?
We only have
what are you
A-list.
I feel like I'm watching
You're
that.
full house.
I had to get a
What is
Pepsi.
happening?
I felt like I was
I had
watching
to
the
walk
Blair
out
Witch
of the room.
Project.
I was like,
yeah, it is
I
Blair
was
Witch.
swallowed.
Yeah, this is very
When you
Blair
make
Witch.
fun of
What is
when you make
happening?
fun of when you make fun of Gary Sinise, when you say he's like B-list, you just get swallowed up by the universe.
I didn't
That's what
say it
happened
was
to me.
B-list.
No, he's not B-list. Not to me.
Either way, Kurt, why did you move through your entire household?
I
What
had
just
to get. I
happened?
got a Pepsi so I could have like caffeine. I shouldn't be doing that.
Does Pepsi support this podcast?
Oh God,
Are they official sponsors?
I don't think we
Could
have
be.
any. Yeah,
Well,
Pepsi.
anyway,
It's fresh.
but Kurt,
Pepsi,
You know
because
what?
I'm running myself ragged, and now I'm going to.
Pepsi.
my
Pepsi
teeth
will
out.
support this podcast at some point.
well, you know what, Kurt? It was
Yes.
it was really dark, and for a minute, it looked like you were in a box in the back of a truck.
Oh, good pivot, Les. Good pivot.
I couldn't do that. I'm claustrophobic.
So good, so good. Good job, Les.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
yeah, we do need to keep things moving.
I will say that this cold open in this movie, this Lifetime movie, Devil on My Doorstep, I did enjoy the imagery, trying to sort of give a nod to the horror movies where like the person's hand comes up out of the grave.
Like Carrie, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this movie was fucked up. I think I
It
must have
was.
missed. I think I must have missed something.
No, I got to
No.
tell you,
They did.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this movie.
It was
Me too.
just it was trying to do too many things. They could have split this up and used this relatively thin plot. They still split it up into like 3 different movies.
And,
Yeah,
and then
three shitty movies.
and then inevitably they ruined their own twist.
Mm.
Infinite Jest was less
It
complicated.
was
than this.
so chaotic and confusing.
It was
And-
so confusing.
and you did-
It felt like very like long-winded as well.
And who the fuck were you supposed to root for?
Basically,
rooted
my
for no
takeaway
one.
from this movie was everyone was an asshole.
They were.
Like
They were.
everybody. Every single
Yeah,
one
I
of
rooted for no one. No
Yeah.
one. Absolutely no one. And I took notes and I was like, I don't care about anyone. I'm exhausted and I don't know where we're going with this.
I'm exhausted too.
Yeah.
If this was a book, I would have brought it back to the library unread. But since it was a movie, I sat through it.
So,
Alright.
so the movie that we watched, Devil on My Doorstep, I think the devil got into whoever was writing this movie because it like scrambled their brains or something. Because there was a lot.
The devil's in the details.
Oh,
Okay, there you go.
Well, then the
All
devil
right.
wasn't there because there
The
weren't
problem
enough
is there were
details
no
to sort this
details.
out. Yeah. Not enough
yeah,
details.
no details.
So we literally, the movie starts and we see someone trapped in a box in the back of a truck and they're going, help me, help me, help me, hello. And then we go to 3 weeks.
Well, no, wait. Doesn't
early-
the
okay.
hand punch out of the box?
I don't
Like-
think it. No, I
Yeah.
think the hand happens later.
No, they showed it again later because when we
Yeah.
see it
Oh,
again
twice.
later, it takes
Okay.
us back to the beginning of the movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
so it starts
I
with
remember
like
seeing the hand.
hand out of the box, very similar to like the hand out of the grave in Carrie.
Yeah,
Which-
and in Deliverance. I think Deliverance is
Yeah.
where that first happened.
Okay.
Which I got to tell you, a lot happened in 3 weeks.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like a
Wow.
lot.
Yes.
Like a year's worth of stuff happened in like 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had some weeks like that.
Because we see a woman. She wakes up. She's looking at social media. She's making breakfast. Right. She's looking at she's taking pictures of her meals. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, she's looking at caskets.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, what was confusing right out of the gate is that there were two women that were starting their routines for the day. And they kept
Right.
cutting between the two that looked sort of similar, had similar hair, and you haven't been introduced to these people yet. So it's hard to tell that they're cutting between two different women going about their day, like some days good, some days bad, but both sort of dealing with grief. It was
Right.
I'm dealing with grief to start the movie montage.
Right. And
One, her
then,
husband died. The other one, her grandmother died.
Yeah.
and then one of them, or did both of them, was looking at how to write a eulogy.
I think that was probably Chloe.
Okay. And then we see Chloe walking through a parking lot, and a guy is like checking her out. And then she's in a school, and we find out. Oh no! She goes to her job. It's her first day on a new job, and the guy who I guess is training her. We find out that her grandmother was a teacher, and her grandmother was his old art teacher.
Yeah. And he knows her
And
from school. They graduated together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her
this
grandmother
is-
died.
And this guy's a nerd, like
Yeah.
old school nerd.
But he was a lifetime nerd where basically it was an attractive guy that they just put glasses on him.
Yeah. I was there for it.
Yeah, I was thinking of you because
Yeah.
I know you like nerds.
I do like a hot guy in glasses.
Yeah. And that literally was it, just the glasses, and like without the glasses, it was ba ba boom.
Oh yeah, he didn't give it really. I thought he gave a nerd vibe.
I
Well,
thought so too.
He was,
He's a nerd.
acting. He was doing his job in the movie.
Good job.
Well-
You did a great job.
He inhabited the nerd.
Yeah.
So then Chloe meets one of her coworkers, Rita.
Mhm.
And then she meets Theo, who was the guy who was checking her out. And Theo is actually another one of her coworkers.
And he is creepy as fuck.
Yes.
Grizzly kind of guy.
So then we cut to the other woman, Natasha. And she makes a phone call, and who answers the phone but none other than Rachel, the first Black Bachelorette.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Yes,
Oh,
that's Rachel
all right.
Lindsay, the first Black Bachelorette.
I didn't even clock that the other woman, Natasha, was Jenna Dewan. I didn't notice that. I
Oh,
realized it was
that
her
was
until the
Jenna Dewan?
credits.
I thought of it the whole time. Yeah, it's Jenna Dewan.
I
I was so excited about that.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Jenna
Yeah.
Dewan Tatum, or is she back to Jenna Dewan?
No.
Oh, she's been Jenna
Back
Dewan
to
for a
Jenna
while.
Dewan.
Yeah.
They're divorced.
And remember, we
Who
did
is this?
we did a Jenna Dewan movie about a year ago on Lifetime. That was
I'm
the
like,
That's right.
so excited. That's Jenna Dewan. Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
she was married to what?
Channing
Channing
Tatum.
Tatum.
Yeah.
All right.
But they're
now
broken
she-
up now.
But now Channing
Okay.
Tatum is with Zoe Kravitz.
Yes. And they're divorced. But it is Jenna Dewan. She's the main character in this movie.
Yeah. She was in that
Wow.
Lifetime movie that we saw where it was the woman that opened up a dance studio that was also a brothel,
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
which was actually pretty good.
I think I remember
that's
that. But she was
right.
the only one working there at the brothel. She was her.
That
own
was her own
business.
business. And then
Yeah.
She was the business.
Yeah.
And that was the one that was produced by Kelly Ripa
Yes.
and Mark Kunzwald.
And their son was
and
in
their-
it.
And their son was in it. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was pretty good.
not only did she work at the brothel and was the only one at the brothel, she enjoyed her job.
Yeah.
But I
But
thought she was
in
pretty
this
good in
one-
this too.
But in this one, she's an authoress, and she's writing a book called "How to Be a Widow."
Well, but I feel like she's an authoress in that she was already like Instagram famous, and so she got to write a
Yeah.
book. It wasn't like she was trying to be an author.
She's an influencer.
Yeah.
she's an influencer. That's what she's known
Yeah.
for.
And we
Yeah.
also didn't point out that where Theo and Chloe and Rita were all working and Lewis were all working at is like a shipping place kind
So
of
it's
like a
basically
UPS or
FedEx
a FedEx or
warehouse.
something. Yeah.
Like an Amazon or FedEx sort of a knockoff kind of place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so part of Chloe's job is she basically, what would you call her? Kind of like the handler.
She's a dispatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And so not only would,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, not only would she dispatch, she would give them directions as well.
Yeah, but
Like-
that's a dispatcher would
Okay.
do that, right?
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, they basically put a line of dialogue early in the movie to explain that this movie does not work at all in today's modern environment of everyone just having maps on their phones and being able to text shit. They were like, because having a dispatcher checking in with you, giving you new directions, that is a very old school thing. Like, that's what they did on the
Yeah.
TV show Taxi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
So
one
some of us
of
are
the
catching
things
up.
she did, like it was her first day on the job, and she accidentally routed her coworker Rita into a bunch of traffic.
Ooh.
When Rita could have just whipped out her phone and put the address in her phone.
Which is what Chloe ended up doing.
Right.
Because her work computer wasn't working, and instead of just like transferring it to one of her coworkers on her first day, she's like, let me just use Google here or Giga. What was it? Giga search.
Giga search. Gigo search.
Yeah.
Gigo search.
Some
There's also
sort of fake Google.
There's also Instapictics.
Instapixer.
Instapixer.
Follow me on Instapixter. You can find me by looking up in a Gigo search.
So now what Chloe did is she called Theo, who was, the creepy coworker, but another one of the drivers. And she was like, listen, I need you to do me a favor. She's like, I accidentally messed up and sent Rita into the wrong route. Can you do a can you cover Rita's delivery for me? And he was like, okay, well, I'll do it for you, but you've got to, if I do this for you, you've got to go out with me for a drink. So this workplace was just one big HR violation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And frankly,
you can't do a transaction like that.
Frankly, as a consumer, I would never use this shipping company because they seemed really, really, really bad at what they were doing.
Well,
and they were,
as we later see, yeah.
Very lax security at this warehouse.
It's so fake.
Yeah.
They're clearly marked. Boxes are clearly marked, so you know which ones have necklaces and women's clothing in it and things like that.
Yeah, it's actually made me. It answered some questions that I've been wondering about for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So Theo does the drop off, and Rita. So it was one of these type. You know how like UPS or FedEx, especially like if you work in an office, like you have the same person every time, so you get to know the person. This house that Theo went to was on Rita's normal route. So Natasha was familiar with Rita. So when Theo showed up, he could just go right in the house.
Well,
Natasha
Natasha yelled, thinking it was Rita, and Natasha yelled like, oh, just come on in there in the front.
Right. So he went in, and Natasha was startled because she's like, "Oh my gosh, I thought you were Rita, and you're someone different." And then so he's just chatting with her, and then her dog comes up, and her dog, what was the dog's name? Arbus.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Arbus, and
Arbus.
Yeah. And so Arbus was a famous piano player. So she's like, Arbus. And he was like, oh my gosh, it's like the piano player. And Natasha was like, oh, well, yeah, not many people know about that. And I'm into music. And so that's why I named her. And then Theo was like, oh, I'm into it too. So they basically, so Natasha saw that them having something in common, but just being nice. Theo saw them having something in common as, okay, I'm just going to go for this because she's into me.
Oh, okay.
Which,
that's an interesting take on it, because I was confused as to why they made a big deal out of this pianist's name and their connection over it and never revisited that plot point.
right.
It seemed like a big piece of information to make a big deal about to never return to.
Because I
What
thought
else were they
that,
going to
you
do with
know,
it?
Right. I don't know. Like maybe there's some sort of connection. There's I don't know, the dog responds to certain piano notes and that somehow saves her. I don't know.
because
I wasn't getting paid to write this script. Somebody else was.
Because I thought it I thought it kind of like, on Natasha's end, it was, oh my gosh, someone had something in common. How nice.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
his
thought.
thought was, oh my gosh, we've got something in common. This is my way in. This is my new wife.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So then Theo collects on his drinks with Chloe.
Well, there was
And
a scene back at the shipping place, and like Chloe's there working by herself, and all the lights start going out.
Yeah.
Like no
Yeah, for no
warning,
reason.
just like, hey, time to go home. Like I don't think they would do that.
Like it's kind of like last call, get out.
And I think they would be open like at night also, like some kind of, some kind of warehouse, right?
Well, this is a Bravo. This is I was gonna say a Bravo workplace. This is a Lifetime workplace.
Okay. Bravo.
Everybody works at night in the office by themselves on Lifetime.
But she wasn't by herself because Lewis was there and gives her a condolences card that he made himself, thanks to this art skills from Grandma. And then, she's really touched by it, but then like Theo clock blocks and is like, I want my drink now.
Right. So they go out for their drink and they're talking, and she's telling him how she, took care of her grandma. And before she had this job, she was a receptionist at a mental health center. And now, which one of them? Someone was talking about panic attacks. Was that her or him?
That was him.
It was him because he was headed towards the NFL.
Yeah. Okay.
More sports talk.
See?
There you go. And they were talking about, curiosity.
Well, curiosity killed him. I mean, not killed him. Cured him. Big difference. Cured him of his panic attacks. It was curiosity.
Right. And they were
What was
and
that?
satisfaction brought it back. Where I first heard that for the first time? On All My Children. Erica Kane said that.
It's true. I never knew the end of that for like many, many years. And I was so happy when I got to hear the end of it, because I always heard only the preface.
Because on All My Children, Erica Kane was snooping when she was she was the countess. She was a countess for a while. And so she was snooping in the castle, and the maid caught her, and the maid was like, curiosity killed the cat. And then Erica Kane in her sexy voice went, and satisfaction brought it back.
Finally.
How do you bring back a cat?
That's how
It's got 9 lives.
Just irritates me.
Oh my God.
Wait, I'm having a panic attack. I have to get through it. Let me get myself curious. What are those piano players' names? Oh, Argus. Oh, I'm cured. Okay. Let's continue.
God.
So Chloe was actually kind of liking him at this point. Like she was okay. She was okay with him.
I will say that one thing this movie did do well, even though they couldn't quite figure out what to do with it, is they cast Theo well. Because Theo has to walk this line of being coming off as immediately creepy, but also maybe he's charming and they won't see the creepiness right away, or he can wear him down and he won't seem creepy anymore.
Because in this part he wasn't being a creep in this part. They were just having a regular normal conversation. and and you could tell that she was actually starting to kind of like him.
Yeah.
But then it was the Lifetime trope of someone accidentally bumped into, and Theo lost his shit.
Yeah.
He defended her honor.
Yeah.
And he got very violent.
He's like Peterson.
And Chloe had this look on her face like, oh shit, get me away from this crazy idiot.
Man. He was, you apologize for bumping. He did too. So I'm sorry.
There was a message in this movie sort of, baked into the interactions the women would have with Theo, where they were not letting themselves get too inebriated where they don't know what's going on, and where like they were sort of tracking their moves for their friends just in case, heaven forbid, something would happen.
And I noticed the same thing, and I thought that was a very cool message to convey.
I did, although it was never really explained why Chloe didn't drink much. Like it was stated as a line of dialogue, and there's a scene later where she waters down her drink rather than just like turning down alcohol. It didn't make sense. And later in the movie, which we'll get to, one of the characters was like, I'm taking a picture of you and I'm sending it to my friend. Yeah.
So just in case I don't show up dead somewhere.
Well, it did seem weird, that situation. But
that's what you're supposed to do. And that's what you should do. Especially if you're single and live alone, you should definitely like, hey, just in case I'm going out with this person and this is what he looks like. For sure. So Chloe is still looking on her eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
She's only got like 3 lives. Hasn't her grandmother been dead for like a few weeks now? Is she still writing the eulogy?
Yeah.
It only has like 3 lines.
No, there's no funeral till that eulogy's done.
Yeah. Why are we still like doing the eulogy?
Gotta do it.
Yep. And so Rita is thanking Theo for covering her yesterday, for covering her ass and making sure the woman got the shipment. And then he starts asking questions. He starts asking Rita questions about Natasha, and Rita's like, don't start. So I don't know if he had a history of like stalking women who get packages or what, but Rita was on to him.
And again, never really like revisited that.
No.
Yeah.
What? She didn't seem upset about it. She seemed more like that was his MO. You know?
Yeah, like
weird.
just like he's like a
Why
Lothario.
did they do that funeral? Like they were not expecting it at that point.
Yeah. What do you guys, when they showed this on the screen, her doing a Gigo search, and she literally looked up the words Instapicture aesthetic photos.
Oh no.
What the fuck did that mean? And I just came up with a theory.
That's like a weird, like when they do like those like weird like geology like those searches when they're like trying to do like a map.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going well. Like they're not gonna find them.
Well, no,
I've had people do that.
I actually have a theory as to what that was, and it just hit me right now. I think
Tell me.
In the script, like what they told that they needed from the graphics people for this beat of the scene was her looking up Instapicture, which is obviously a stand-in for Instagram. Instapicture, like what is the style of their photos? Because she's gonna become obsessed with this Natasha person.
No. Yeah.
So it's probably like written as like, oh, we need some Instapicture aesthetic photos, and they took it literally of like her just searching that term instead of actually like having images of people that we, the audience, could see her becoming obsessed.
And they had to use it. Because time was of the essence.
Dude, I spent 5 hours making that graphic. What do you mean it's useless?
Gotta use it. We gotta move on.
So the nerdy guy saw Theo take the box that was meant for Natasha out of Rita's shipments and put it in his own shipment. So then later, Rita gets to the house and she discovers that the box was missing. And so she calls Theo and she's like, hey, Theo, you didn't happen to pick up one of my boxes by mistake. And Theo, of course, knew that he did, but then he kind of paused for a second and went, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm so sorry, Rita. I actually did.
But that was weird too. Like, what did he do? Open the back and just like peek towards the back? You know, it was like only 5 seconds, it seemed, in between him saying, I'm not sure if I have it. Oh, yeah, I do have it.
Right. And so
I guess we have to live in their world.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry, Rita didn't call Theo. Chloe, like Rita called Chloe and Chloe called Theo.
Yeah.
And then Theo was all like, did you have fun last night?
It was a game of telephone.
Chloe changes the subject very quickly.
Oh, she said the food was good.
Yeah. Which was not, which was nice because she was just like,
a good review of the restaurant.
Right. A good, So then Chloe starts Googling Natasha. And then she's watching one of those 20, how they ask 25 questions or 75 questions, like those type interviews.
Yeah, where they're sort of like wearing flowy clothing and walking through the house, speaking directly to camera.
Right. And so she's she's walking through her house and answering her questions, and Chloe's like obsessed with her.
But like out of nowhere.
Right.
It's like she sees one Instapicture video of her, and suddenly it's like she has been a Swiftie ride or die her entire life, and she will cut a bitch that says anything negative about her.
Yeah. So then the Bachelorette comes over. So Natasha's crying.
Mm-hmm.
And so
why's that?
She's crying, and the Bachelorette comes over. And we find out that Natasha's crying because of her husband, and because her husband died. And
she found a shirt.
Yeah. And so the Bachelorette is like, oh, well, you know what? I have something that will cheer you up because your book is ready to go.
Now it almost like she was surprised that she wrote a book. She's like, what? I wrote a book?
Yeah.
Are you transcribing everything I was saying for last week and published it?
When she said that, I took the surprise as I'm an influencer and I don't really have I'm not writing it myself. I have a ghostwriter. And I didn't realize we were writing a book about my husband's death, but okay.
Not for nothing. I was surprised she wrote a book too.
And also, Natasha was happy because she hit 1 million followers on Instapicture.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're trying to get.
Okay, not this way. No, this direction, Kurt.
Okay.
Oh, and then meanwhile,
we're gonna leave it on Instapicture.
We can't be doing it this way.
So Theo brings
way too much.
Theo brings the package, and then later, the cute nerd tells Theo, "Look, I saw you take one of Rita's packages," and then Theo is like, "No, you didn't," and then the cute nerd is like, "Yes, I did."
Yeah, this nerd's not getting a hint.
And then Theo's like, "Your glasses look pretty dirty."
He took them off and then started smearing them, which is a big violation as someone that wears glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I said, this job is like an HR nightmare.
What I didn't understand is after this interaction, right away, isn't Lewis their boss?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but he's getting pushed around. He's Eugene.
And also, Jason wears glasses. Let's stand up for Jason real quick.
Why? I feel like I can defend myself.
Sorry.
Do you think I would be afraid of Theo?
I did not like the glasses, the backlash.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, what we just said like a second ago. I'm sorry, apologies, but
Not
I
needed.
didn't like that.
Oh no, I think Jason could kick Theo's ass.
He can't. Oh, he can. He can. I
But-
take it back.
But this
Jason
Lewis,
has got this. Yes.
Lewis
course
is
he
being
can.
bullied. He was going to take Lewis's lunch money.
I don't know. Lewis
Fair
could,
enough.
Lewis
Fair
could
enough.
pull a George McFly towards the end of
That
Back to
was,
the
like,
Future where he
pretty
decks
cool.
Biff.
It's George McFly.
I wasn't. That was a can of worms. I was not trying to open.
But then Theo did look like he'd been to jail, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
well-
needed more backstory.
Yeah.
He like
Oh,
because
And Lewis
I
looked like he'd been
didn't
to math camp.
other than just like he was
No,
into
couldn't be
Natasha.
smart.
He had no real other motivation to be creepy.
no, none at all.
Mhm.
Like, he wasn't
what did,
that bad
What did he
looking.
want from Natasha besides sex? Like,
Yeah. So then we see Chloe, and she's online, and she's looking at more Natasha stuff. And then Natasha is talking about her husband who passed away, and she says something like, "You're gone from sight, but never from my heart." And then Chloe plagiarized that, and she puts it into using her grandmother's eulogy.
Which is probably okay. It's not like she's making money off this eulogy, you know. I don't think there'll be a lawsuit there.
So then,
but again,
Chloe
now
tells
we're like
Lewis-
further into the timeline of this movie, and Grandma's been dead for how long now?
right?
Yeah, that's true. This grandma's not in good shape. I hope she was cremated.
Imagine having to go to your family and be like, "Guys, I'm so sorry. We need to postpone Grandma's services again. I've just this writer's block. It's just fucking awful. I don't know what to do.
Right.
I can't find the words. I've been looking on Gigo search for something. I just can't."
I know you flew in from Kansas, but just stay a couple more weeks.
Right.
A couple more months till I get my. I'll be taking a creative writing workshop next week. Try to stimulate my brain.
Yeah.
Oh, so then Chloe tells Lewis that she has a doctor's appointment.
Listen, you nerd. I got a doctor's appointment.
And Lewis is like, she's like, Lewis, can I go? I got a doctor's appointment. He's like, okay. And you know what she does? She doesn't have a doctor's appointment. She goes to a book signing. that Natasha's having.
Lied to that nerd.
Also, why did she just say she was taking her lunch break? The thing was at noon.
Right.
Who's working dispatch
They-
for her? Lewis?
They
Someone's
time
gotta do a
checked
job.
that it was happening at noon. She could have just said, like, "I'm going to go out for lunch today."
And who the hell's having a book signing during like the middle of the day?
Yeah.
Natasha. Well,
What'd you say, Aya?
and then
I did like the selection of extras for the book signing, though, because they were clearly trying to let it be known that Natasha had a big gay following.
right.
Because it was
Well, I
all
did
gay
notice that.
guys that were at her signing.
How do you know that? They weren't engaging in any kind of activities.
So all of these very good-looking, smiley, well-coiffed men in the middle of the day, they were all bros that were there to bro out.
They were throwback to the metrosexual. They're back.
Okay.
Remember those guys?
So then Natasha's talking. She's giving her reading, and then all of a sudden she gets verklempt and runs into the bathroom because she's talking about her dead boyfriend,
Husband.
her husband, and she gets verklempt and runs to the bathroom, and the Bachelorette runs after her.
People are spying also.
And
Yeah.
they're talking, and yes, Chloe is in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And the Bachelorette's trying to calm her down, and she's saying, everything happened for a reason. And then the Bachelorette leaves, and then Chloe comes out. And then Chloe's like, you know what? I hate it when people say that, everything happens for a reason. And Chloe, like they kind of bond.
But what's
over the-
weird about it is they're bonding on opposite sides of a bathroom stall wall. They never meet face to face in this scene, but they have this big, heavy conversation about grief with the stranger.
Couldn't she see Chloe's feet? Because she wasn't like sitting on the hopper.
I mean,
she was just
probably
standing
because
there.
Chloe was looking through the little slit in the door out at Natasha.
Yeah. So what are you doing standing in the stall?
Well, so it wasn't like, remember on 9 to 5 how when the lady would like snoop and write the notes on toilet paper, she'd put her feet on top of the toilet?
But that's not what Chloe was doing.
No, she was just standing there.
Like Casey Kasem had given the advice for so many years, she kept her feet on the ground.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so then after their conversation, and then like his Natasha thanks her and leaves, Chloe not only leaves the bathroom, she steals a book.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
I wasn't clear in this moment until it was cleared up at the end of the movie that she did that because the book was not yet out for sale.
Yeah.
And right. And now the next part confused me because she was laughing and then crying. And then, like, she went through a whole range of emotions reading this book.
I think it was a Chloe is devouring the book in one sitting montage.
Yeah, it was a montage. It was a reading montage.
Yeah.
Because she was like, crying.
Well, you laughed, you cried.
Yeah, she rolled around.
It took her on a journey.
So then
when you watch a good movie, you're laughing, crying, rolling around.
So then we see Natasha, and she's doing yoga, right?
Ah.
And the dog. Oh, she starts looking for the dog, and she can't find the dog. And then we find out that Theo kidnapped the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you kidnap the dog?
Chloe
and
calls
no motivation.
But Chloe calls Theo. Hello, Theo goes hello, and you're.
Yeah.
She's like, do you have a dog? No, that must have been an interception.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I think I'm starting to figure this one out.
And then
how about that
Natasha,
thing? I think is this the part where Chloe? I should interrupt, but is this the part where Chloe's heating that thing up in the microwave at work? What the fuck was that? It's some kind of red sauce thing. It looks like something I would eat.
Well, I think that was just a like what a sad existence having a microwave meal, like a lean cuisine or something at work. Like I've done that
life.
Yeah, I've had that life too.
I love it. Kurt's like it looks like something I would eat.
I don't even know what it is. It's just red.
What was wild to me in this moment, though, is she heats up that thing and then she sits down and she is just this moment, creating an Instapixer account. Why did she not have one already?
I hope she's not taking pictures of her food.
Well, I guess. Oh, I can't say yet.
Well, you can.
Well, okay.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. All right.
Because that's why you can't. You know, when you're not allowed to have your phone, you can't make an account.
But that information was from like a while ago. Because remember, she's been living with grandma and taking care of grandma for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. True. You're right, Jason. No, you're totally right.
What big eyes you have, Grandma.
This is where Chloe's got
and then another reason why she created the account was because Natasha got online and said, if whoever helps me find, if you post that my dog is missing, I'll follow you. So in order to get the follow, she created that account so that it would follow her back.
And her username is Go for Clo.
Ah, that's worse than that Black China report we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
Right there with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Go for Chloe.
So then Chloe goes and starts stealing stuff from boxes.
Yeah. How do you get away with that?
Like out of nowhere, she's just now somebody that is like, yeah, I'm just gonna start trying on this shit.
And they turned it into a makeover montage of stealing from boxes. Because she stole curling irons, she stole clothes.
Did she get curling
makeup?
iron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stole a curling iron.
One thing that I don't think they made clear, which I do think was their intention with this scene, is she wasn't just stealing from random people's boxes. She, like influencers, when you get to a certain level, like Natasha would be, you just get sent free samples of shit all the time by people that want you to talk about their products. I think this is supposed to be like all stuff that was like intended for Natasha.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so then she wasn't going to use it.
Then once again, we have another scene that proves that this job is an HR nightmare because Lewis, her boss, approaches her and first asks how was the doctor, which she forgot about her lie for a minute. And then he asks her out. Now, if you're the boss, you're not supposed to be asking your employee out.
And certainly not on company property.
No, during their lunch hour.
Yeah.
And
she's being asked out by a bunch of people at work.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's okay if Theo does because they're equals. But when there's a power dynamic, that sometimes makes it a little iffy.
And I mean, and it's still not okay technically, but it's not like he has no power over her. Like,
although apparently, Lewis doesn't really have any power over his team anyway, because he can't reprimand Theo for just being threatening.
I didn't know he was the boss.
I mean, he said he just got promoted to something.
Because he's the one that made their schedules and stuff. Because one of the scenes they talked about her schedule.
Oh yeah, and she's the one that she actually went to him and asked to go to her doctor.
Yeah.
She had to report to him about it.
So later that night, Theo shows up and returns the dog to Natasha.
Yeah.
And makes it that he just kind of randomly found the dog. And then he claims that he ran out of gas. And Natasha was Natasha was weirded out by him, but at the same time, she was like, well, he found my dog, so I can't be a bitch and not give him a ride.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those situations.
But it was like she was closing the door, and his hand stopped the door from closing, and he went in for oh, can you give me a ride? And she still did it.
Yeah.
No.
So while he's giving her a ride, Chloe then shows up at Natasha's house. And she sees the empty truck.
Have you guys ever run out of gas before?
Yes.
You guys have run out of gas?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Have you?
No. I've come close.
What?
No. I didn't run out of gas.
Oh, yeah, I totally have.
And what do? You got to walk to the gas station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or call
AAA.
Yeah, you call
and they'll bring a
AAA.
gas can. Yeah, they'll bring a gas can and then fill your tank
Call
up.
AAA. It's terrible.
How did this happen? You were just you had no idea that it was.
I was driving.
It was a bad time. Why are you bringing stuff?
Well, it's I mean,
terrible.
with me, it was I wasn't making great money at the time. And when you see that tank below a quarter, you're like, I'll get it soon. Like I just have to run these errands today. I have to get this stuff done, and you just get caught up in like trying to get through your day, and before you know it, it's like, ah, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The car stops, but the radio is still on.
Yeah, I went to crap.
Yeah.
I had
I
to
was
upset
the
you.
crap person. No, don't. You're not upsetting me.
I'm upset
I went to crap. It's fine, but it happens, sometimes.
No, I tell you, I've come close.
I went there. Listen, I went there. It happens. AAA, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, AAA.
I don't own a car, and I still pay for AAA.
Why?
Because if I am driving somebody else's vehicle, or if I have a rental or something like that, they're gonna respond quicker. It's like $40 a year, and you get the tows and you get other free things from them. It's worth it.
All right, Jason. If I was on a dating app and someone was like having AAA without a car, I'd be like, okay, I love that. Like,
Really?
yeah. That's a great thing.
This is weird because I'm so irresponsible in so many other ways.
I know, but on a dating app, I'd be like, okay, that's delicious. Like, let's go.
Well, I should also tell you, I pay for insurance and I don't have a car.
Oh my God, stop.
Car insurance?
Yeah, you could get like non-owners insurance.
I mean, this person in the dating app, that's very nice.
Well, car insurance could also provide.
I have car insurance.
Some do, but not all. And I, like, for instance, years ago, I had a Nissan. I will call them out. And it came with, like, their roadside assistance or whatever. And, like, I had a problem. And it took them, like, 2 hours to get there. And with AAA, every time I've needed to use AAA, they're there within, like, 15 minutes. I've been very lucky in that regard.
Okay.
So AAA should be a sponsor of our podcast.
Should be a sponsor of this podcast.
Yeah.
I love Westways magazine, AAA. I will
Basically,
talk about Westways for
AAA. We're gonna get them.
And I use AAA. And I drive cross country for gigs and everything.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna get AAA. That's what we've learned.
Oh, okay. So Theo and Natasha come back, and after she's like snooping in the truck, Theo's leaving, or he sees the car. And meanwhile, all this is going on, and Chloe is standing her boss up on their date. She's standing Lewis up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Theo approaches Chloe at work, and he's like, "Hey, do you drive a silver car? Silver? Was it a silver Nissan? It was he named the brand, I think.
Was it a Honda?
Whatever it was, it was like a common. It was like a Toyota or some Hyundai, something common.
Something like that, yeah.
And Lewis and Chloe is like, "Well, every grandma does."
Yeah, basically saying like, "Hey, I'm driving my grandma's car, and there's so many of these out there. It could have been anyone."
Right.
Oh, that's her grandma's car? She inherited that?
Yeah.
How do we know that? Did she say that?
I think that was implied by that line of dialogue.
Oh, okay.
And so then Lewis then approaches Chloe at work, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay that you didn't show up for our date last night, even though I am your boss." He didn't say that part, but he was like, "It's okay that you didn't show up." And then Chloe goes to Rita and it's like, "Rita, okay, I need your advice. I have a friend who might be in danger. What should I do?" And then Rita kind of looks at her like, "What the fuck?" And Rita's like, "You got to say something. You got to warn her."
I liked Rita's response to that question. Her response was, well, you ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen if you do? What's the worst that can happen if you don't? That is a good way to like get yourself through a heads or tails kind of scenario.
Rita's got the right answer. I like that.
Right. So then Chloe goes to Natasha's house, but she's really nervous. And so she doesn't knock on, like she walks up to the door and she doesn't have the guts to knock. So she turns around and she's leaving, and she runs into Natasha. And Natasha is like, "Oh, you must be the house sitter next door." And then she's like, "Hey, can I borrow a wine? I need to open a bottle of wine, this selfie that I'm doing." And so Chloe then breaks into the neighbor's house, gets a wine opener.
Why doesn't she go to like a dollar store and get a wine opener and just do that? She breaks in the house to get it. What if they don't have one?
It did seem like, just in terms of the absurdity of the moment, of her like making the mental calculation of like, yeah, I should break into somebody's home to buy an item that is $2 and very easily accessible.
Right.
Exactly.
I just love that mental calculation came to that in that moment.
Yeah, I don't think it was like that calculated. I agree.
The Morgans keep their corkscrew.
And as she's
I will also say
to
too, if you are going to be sending influencers things, if you're sending them a bottle of wine, for instance, it's all for the gram anyway. Send the wine opener. You don't know if they're going to have one or not.
right.
Yeah.
This is frankly a failure of marketing that this was even allowed to occur.
Yeah, so she had to break into a house to get it.
So then also she's going through the house and she gets startled by a mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a fitting thing. It was like you make clothes on it. Yeah, that would scare me
To
too.
be fair, I am very easily startled, so I was startled by it.
Well, making your own clothes is scary. So I think that's what her fear really was there.
I have this. So
You know what I mean?
growing up, I had a cat named Smokey. It was like a gray cat with these really pretty, like, kind of yellowy eyes. And for some reason, after I moved to California, I think my mom thought I was like a full-on cat person. So would send me every year like Christmas presents and stuff. I'd get like an ornament with a cat on it, or I'd get a calendar with cats on it. And one year I opened up a box, and I think this is just like my parents' twisted sense of humor too. I open it up, and it's a cat, and it looks like it's a stuffed animal, except it's hard to the touch, and it looks just like my cat from growing up. And so but it was hard, and the eyes looked very realistic. And I lived alone at the time, and I put it on this counter, and as I would walk out into my living room, the cat would scare the shit out of me. It's the creepiest cat. So I still have it, this creepy cat, but I have to like turn it around at times because it looks like it's staring at me.
That's funny. You would turn around.
Yeah.
Oh. So after all this, she goes back to Natasha's house with the wine opener. That was a healthy pour. And then Natasha.
I win.
Yeah, and then Natasha was like to Chloe, "Thank you so much. Hey, what's your handle? I'll follow you." Excuses herself to go to the bathroom, and first, yes, she pours like half of her wine out, like more than half of her wine out, and like puts water in it to dilute it. But then she starts like freaking out in the bathroom and like doing weird stuff, practicing laughing. She's practicing answering questions. She's taking pictures of all of Natasha's lotions and serums.
This whole scene, I was confused because it made me think like, oh, is she trying to single white female Natasha? Is she trying to become her? And again, they kind of danced around that a bit throughout the movie, but never really landed on it.
Oh yeah, the whole movie I was confused about that.
Because she had all the same like serums for her face and all the same hair care products, and with like her hair, like as she was getting a little sexier as the movie went on, she like even Theo kind of commented on it at one point.
Literally the whole movie, I was wondering if she was going to take over her personality.
Yeah.
So then they go back downstairs and they're bonding because Natasha's husband died and Chloe's grandmother died. So they were calling themselves sisters in grief. And they were commiserating and they understood each other, which made sense. And then Natasha actually genuinely liked Chloe. So Natasha's like, hey, well, why don't you come over again tomorrow? And then she sees that Natasha starts following her on Instapixer. So then what does Chloe do? She just goes back into the house that she broke into and started living there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they have a security system in a house like this? Or
I mean, if I were Lifetime, I would put in better security systems for all of the characters in all of their movies and sell ad time to ADT.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which would also be a great sponsor for a Lifetime of Hallmark podcast.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Oh, so then Chloe has like a nightmare that Theo kidnaps her.
No, she has a nightmare that she gets saran.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, saran wrapped.
He starts putting saran wrap around her like she's a bowl of egg salad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So then she wakes this new fabulous life in the house next door, eating breakfast, putting on makeup,
food behind?
getting serums.
Squatter's right. She could stay there.
Then, like, she uses her curling and she curls her hair, and then she goes to Natasha, and Natasha's like, "Oh, I like your hair." And then Chloe goes to work, and she gets out of the car, and she's had a full makeover with heels and everything.
Hey, did you hear
curled
that
hair?
Did you hear that music? That poppin' music that was playing?
Yes.
I wrote some of the lyrics. It goes, was it mini skirt on, mini skirt, oh.
Kurt, we can't.
Yes, you can.
We can't afford the rights to this.
Mini skirt, oh.
I like that this montage was sort of showing the passage of time, and now Chloe's getting all of this influencer swag. Either they're sending it to her because now she has followers because Natasha is following her, or she's buying some of it because you see her ordering it. So it's a pretty decent passage of time. You'll know why I'm pointing that out later, but it should be noted some time has passed. And remember, I'll just say some time has passed.
Look, I know we're talking about nerds before, but that was just music that I can dance to.
So then Natasha is hanging. So Natasha and the Bachelorette and Chloe are all hanging out having wine.
Well, okay, so this is why I point out the passage of time, because the reason that the Bachelorette is hanging out is because she called Natasha to check in on the dog, which if there has been this passage of time, she has waited several weeks to call her supposed best friend to say, hey, did you ever find your dog that went missing?
Well, she's busy. She's the Bachelor.
What she is an asshole for not checking in on her friend.
I've seen that Bachelor show too. I
saw the Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Show. No, I was watching the Bachelor. It's like they treat him like he's the only man left on Earth.
Well, they're locked in a mansion.
Yeah, that is the show, Kurt.
Well,
they're locked in a mansion for
people working the cameras.
I don't watch it.
It's almost as if it sends a bad message about how relationships are formed.
Oh my
Thank
god!
You.
Did you see the
Thank
old?
You,
the
I'm
old
like,
Bachelor?
I don't watch it. Like, it's too much.
It's just
the
on
Golden
it.
Bachelor.
Yeah,
it's on.
The old Bachelor got divorced.
It's the Golden Bachelor, and like honestly, it's probably the best one. But I can't watch any of them. It's too sad.
I watched the Golden Wedding.
Okay.
Well, the Golden
was it good?
They only lasted 3 months. because now they're getting divorced.
We all well, I thought we all had watched The Gold Wedding, and then when I brought it up,
No.
it was like I was alone in a box in the back of a van.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
That's how it feels. You want to know what
So the Bachelorette is trying to get to know Chloe. So she's looking at how she's dressed, and she's like, so Chloe, tell me what you do for a living. Judging from this, you're either an accountant or a receptionist.
Yeah.
The Bachelorette was not wrong.
That was bitchy though. She judged her on her outfit and said, "Oh, I'm getting accountant." In other words, like, you're not hot. That's what that was intended to convey.
You're either a nun or
or a sexually frigid person with no descript qualities.
So then Chloe's actually like, no, I'm an art teacher and I teach at blah, blah, blah school, whatever the school that her grandmother taught at was. And the Bachelorette is like, oh, well, my sorority sister teaches there. And she teaches English there. And
can you spell liar?
And then Natasha is like, change the subject just to get the Bachelorette off of Chloe's back. So then Chloe's taking something out of the oven and she accidentally burns herself. So she goes to the bathroom, and then Natasha's telling the Bachelorette, listen, be nice to her. Don't be a bitch. And then Chloe goes to the bathroom and then starts pouring scalding hot water on her hand.
Yeah, she basically realized she hadn't really burned herself that much, and she needed to garner some sympathy somehow. So she's like, I'm going to self-mutilate.
This'll change the subject. Ah!
Yeah.
Damn.
And so then Natasha's taking care of her.
Clean hands, though.
Yeah, Natasha's like taking care of her.
No germs.
So then we see Chloe skulking around the warehouse, and we see Theo skulking around the warehouse, and there's a lot of skulking going on. And then Chloe accidentally steps on some bubble wrap.
It's a poorly run warehouse, no security, and they just have errant bubble wrap laying on the floor.
I tell you, man, I couldn't skulk around that. I wouldn't be able to resist picking up that bubble wrap and start popping some of those bubbles. You'd hear me. I could not quietly skulk around with bubble wrap around.
And then Chloe sneaks into the back of the truck, of Theo's truck, and she gets stuck back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was eccentric.
And then Theo drives away, and Chloe's like, oh shit, I'm stuck in the back of a truck.
Save on gas.
And then Theo drives and then pulls over, and then Chloe gets out.
Well, she hides behind a box.
No. She stays with him for his entire fucking route for the day.
God.
Yeah.
She's not getting paid for that either.
You'd mean to tell me that at none of the stops along his route, she didn't have another chance to get out of the truck? She had to wait till they were back at the warehouse?
Couldn't she open it up and like roll out of it,
Yeah.
Look what he thought. He's hearing banging and batting in the back, and he pulls over. He opens it up. There's one tiny little box that fell. Oh, it must have been that. That must have been making all the noise.
And so then she gets out of the truck and gets into her car and realizes that she lost her necklace.
Yeah.
But the next day, she shows up for work, and the necklace is on her desk. So Theo knows.
Yeah. And she goes to talk to Lewis about it, and Lewis like freaks out and runs away. Doesn't even talk to her.
Right. Some boss, that is.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get his ass
He's
kicked.
like, if I can't use my new role to violate some of the HR code here, then what am I even doing here?
Right, he shouldn't be.
That's why I'm happy to be the producer, by the way. I only want to chime in when I have to. I'm happy to let you guys talk. And I only have chiming once in a while. Like you guys do it, and I'll be like the bum bum bum, bum bum bum. Continue.
That's like Law and Order. You mean like that?
Yes, I'm the law and
Right,
order.
then.
I'll come in and be like, you're like, and that's when this, and I'm like, bum bum bum. Okay, keep going.
Dun,
It's great.
dun.
It's great. I'll be the producer. Keep going.
Are you enjoying the show?
So,
I'm enjoying it. Yes, I love
Okay,
being the bum bum bum.
Okay, good.
so,
This is when Theo runs
We're
into
having-
Natasha
oh.
outside of yoga.
yeah.
Okay, where are we?
So Theo, Natasha's at yoga, and Theo bumps into Natasha at yoga.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
pretending that he's into yoga too, so he can bump into her.
Well, no
And
men
this
do
is where we
yoga.
learn. This is where we that Theo doesn't have to be a creep after all, because Natasha asks him out.
Yeah.
Ooh. But he doesn't do yoga. He's lying.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I do.
But then yoga's the type of thing, you haven't done it, you can still like a lot of classes are like all levels. So even if you haven't done it, you go to class and get through the class and do it.
Yeah. But he didn't even have to actually do the class.
Right.
Like
One
he
time
bumped
Les
into
did
her
yoga.
as she was coming out and he was going in air quotes.
Yeah.
Les was doing like a hot yoga one time, and he had to like bathe afterwards. So he was like buck ass naked, and someone said, "Hey, are you doing a show in town?"
Oh my yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Yes, I was busted in the shower naked after hot
Oh
yoga.
my god. Okay, when did that happen?
Years ago?
Kurt and I were doing this festival in Fresno, and so there was a hot yoga place near my theater, and so I would go and do hot yoga every day before my show. And so yeah, someone was like, "Hey, are you in that show?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And he was really hot too. Speaking of hot yoga,
Do they call these fringe festivals because your fringe is hanging out?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
in some places.
Want to land?
Oh my god. Okay. So Natasha asked him out, and so then Chloe comes over, and then Chloe is like, "Hey, I brought the wine that you like. I bought the chocolate that you like." And then Natasha's like, "Oh my god, that's so nice. How did you know this?" And Chloe's like, "Oh, my book isn't out yet." And then Chloe starts making up the story, and then you could tell that Natasha's getting weirded out.
Yeah,
And
she
then
basically is like
Theo-
kind of set a couple of landmines for herself that she stepped in.
right.
She's like, I went there the next day, and I found the book, and I took it, and I'm
Right.
interning at Bantam,
Yeah.
and I was given it so I could proofread.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
So then Theo and Natasha are driving, and then this is where Natasha is like, so there, he was telling her he was taking her to one place, but then they drive by the street where the place is, and Natasha is like, "Hey, this is weird." And she takes his picture and she's like, "I'm taking your picture and I'm sending it to my friend just in case you're trying something. So my friend is going to know where I'm at. And my friend's going to,
Yeah.
my friend's going to know I'm out with you."
She can't send it because there's no signal.
Yeah.
So it's looking, and so it's looking like he's kidnapping her. But then they get
Where did
to
he
the
take her?
spot. And like he set up a picnic and stuff for her.
I missed that. I must have been thinking about it.
Yeah.
A
Why
picnic.
was he kidnapping her?
A picnic
He
in the
said
middle
like
of a swamp?
Yeah, no, like in a park, like in a grassy area. And there was lights and there was everything. And so Chloe, meanwhile, Chloe goes to Natasha's house, and she's in Natasha's house, and the Bachelorette comes over, and the Bachelorette is bringing flowers to Natasha, and the Bachelorette's like, what are you doing here? And Chloe, yeah, and I knew you were weird. By the way, I talked to my friend who works at that school, and you didn't even work there. Mm-hmm. And she's like calling the cops and reporting you. And then Chloe, Bachelorette over the head with like a big.
Oh my God.
Instead of doing that, she could have said, like, no, well, what I meant was I'm a substitute teacher. And your friend, the English teacher, is a big snob and didn't want to talk. Thought that they were better than the substitute teachers.
Yeah,
I'm saying that would have been much better than hitting her over the head.
I think Chloe has proven time and again throughout this movie that she's not very good at lying. She's caught in very dumb lies.
So then Theo and Natasha are at this picnic, and meanwhile Chloe is killed the Bachelorette.
Well, she thought she did.
So
what kind of food was at the picnic? Because for some reason I missed that. Well, what did they have there?
Yeah, I didn't see the spread. What did they have?
Yeah,
anybody see it?
Probably like wine and cheese. Like Lifetime food.
Can't make a meal out of that.
Wine and cheese, and charcuterie.
I do it often.
Yeah.
Charcuterie? All right, maybe charcuterie. Now we're talking.
Well, that's cheese and some other things. Yeah.
Oh, that's what charcuterie is?
Cheese. Yes, correct.
Okay.
So,
like a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could make a meal out of that. Yeah, I have. I've gone to places where they have free hors d'oeuvres, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's free dinner.
Little cheese, little crackers.
Yeah.
Olives, maybe.
I was bad. I used to go to these events. They're like, we have free hors d'oeuvres.
I love an hors d'oeuvre.
This is dinner for tonight. If I did a little more, I don't know, streamlined with my behavior, I would have things would be better.
All right, Kurt, do you do the thing where you go to Costco for the samples at lunchtime?
Oh my God, I had a gig handing out samples in Costco.
Yeah.
And how much did you eat?
Good question.
No, I did, because this will be another sponsor, the Lindor chocolates. I had a major gig handing those out, and you can't eat too many of those because they just get heavy. Someone's like, "Are these healthy?" I was like, "Yeah, you figure it out. It's
they're
just healthy. It's like healthy as it can be."
So then he takes the Bachelorette to the hospital and just drops her off in the emergency room.
Which made no sense whatsoever. Why did she struggle to find this thing to hit Sloane over the head with, to then immediately freak out and be like, oh, she needs help?
I thought she was dead.
Yeah. She thought she was dead too.
And in terms of the plot of the movie, there's no reason to save Sloane from death.
Right.
Well, she doesn't want to be accused of murder.
Right. You can't kill the Bachelorette.
So you think that Chloe is thinking rationally in this moment that murder is a bridge too far?
Well, if it's the Bachelorette, it is. So then Chloe goes home.
Yeah, sorry.
Chloe goes home. Who's that?
That's a cat.
Topanga. Sorry, Topanga entered the chat real quick.
She's holding a cat, and the cat's like a wild cat. The cat won't be held for 3 seconds.
Topanga, I know.
It's a real cat. It's not a non-stuffed but still hard cat with creepy eyes.
Oh my God. Sorry, Topanga.
Back to the litter box.
So then Chloe goes home, and what does she do? She drinks wine.
And pills. She pops pills.
She's taking a liking to this wine.
And she drinks wine, she pops some pills.
Take some Flintstones vitamins. Some St.
then,
Joseph's aspirin. No harm in that.
and then Natasha's at home. And then this part is so funny because Theo's at Chloe's door, and it's like he's like, "You're a stalker," and she's like, "You're a stalker," and he's like, "You're unhinged," and she's like, "You're unhinged."
Yeah, those arguments don't go anywhere. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't.
It was the central problem with this movie is that they're both fucking creepy.
Right.
And neither one of them has a real clear, distinct motive to be so obsessed with Natasha because they haven't laid it out properly. And so who are you rooting for here?
I'm rooting for these two to get together, have a kid. The kid's normal and embarrassed by their parents.
That's a great
like
sitcom
Marilyn
right there.
from the Munsters.
Marilyn from the Munsters? No,
Yeah, like that.
You know, I'm looking at it more realism.
I'm picturing more of like The Americans or Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where they're sort of forced together because of their aligned creepiness.
I was full disclosure because you had to bring it up. I was an extra on The Americans. I played a bartender. But I didn't show up, and somebody watched it. They said, "We'll see you."
Like just watched like the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith show, and I'm like, that makes sense as well.
Oh yeah, there is a new one.
Yeah, I heard it's really good.
Yeah,
with like Donald Glover, right?
Yep.
it is good. I will tell you this: I think it was rushed. Like the season one, I felt like they did not have time to like make the whole season. So like every episode was like 6 months later, and I wish they had just wrote that. But they did not. But it's very good. It's very good. And yeah, we'll have a new season soon.
Well, they went through a lot of creative turnover because that was originally going to be Donald Glover and
he's still back for season 2. It was like a
but who was supposed to be his co-star though? It was I can't think of her name.
Maya.
No, that's
Maya
who ultimately played it. But originally it was him and the woman that was in the latest Indiana Jones movie that had that Amazon show that ran for 2 seasons. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. It was originally Donald Glover and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and she dropped out after they started developing the show.
I would have loved that. Yeah, I would have loved that.
But Maya did a good job though. She's great.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Maya Hawke or different Maya?
Not Maya Hawke.
Different. Oh God, thank God, different. No, Maya Hawke would be too young for him.
Okay, Mr. Smith was a show with a monkey.
10-15.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith was a show with a monkey.
Yes.
And Joe Mantegna.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Unfortunately,
Jason?
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't. I guess I'm the. It's not good that I'm the young person on this podcast because I should not be the youth. I'm not that young.
So,
I'm not young enough to be youth.
But in context, you are.
You truly had to live through that.
But that's disturbing.
You had to
How do you think we feel?
Person in this podcast. I can't be the young one. I'm not that young. I'm not that young, guys.
You had to live through the era to know what Mr. Smith is, the monkey.
These are my notes. I'm not that young.
So listen.
I'm very young. I'm youthful, vibrant, and
yeah,
virile.
Kurt's the youngest one here.
I think I am.
No, Jason's the one,
I'll go get my birth
youngest one
certificate.
here.
What's that? No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Born.
Yeah.
Here's my birth certificate. Born.
Yes, you are, Jason. Come on.
I am.
birthday-
Kurt I might even be older than Kurt.
I'm born in
that's true.
1991. Here's my birth certificate right here.
Sure.
No, you're not. Kurt, liar.
Excuse
Kurt,
me.
I'm born in 1990, so fuck off. There's no way.
I'm younger.
I say it with love, but like no way.
I showed my birth certificate. Right. it's right here.
I'm 90, so you cannot do this to me. Please don't.
Awesome.
I'm giving it up. I'm 90.
That was the year I graduated high school.
You're 90?
Yes,
Oh, you
I was born in
graduated in
1990.
Yeah.
I was born in 1990 though, so I'm the youngest.
Oh,
Born in
so
1990.
Chloe's
All right.
confronted.
I think I've said how old I am on the show before.
My point
Chloe-
is, we need someone younger than all of us because I am not even good enough for this the youth. We need a real youth.
So Chloe's confronted, and they're like, "Chloe, you're in trouble." Oh, Natasha confronts Chloe, and Chloe goes to the place she's living, where she's squatting.
Well, actually, before we get to that, one thing that we didn't touch on that is important is that when Chloe and Theo were having that "you're crazy, no, you're crazy," he is like, maybe that place where you said you were a receptionist, that treatment center, maybe you weren't a receptionist because you're an introvert. Why would you take a job doing reception? That would be hell for you. Maybe you were actually a patient at that mental health center.
Well, maybe she did both. She could have worked there and been a patient, work, study kind of thing.
Very confusing.
And then that pisses her off.
Yeah.
She gets pissed.
Because he's right.
If I was institutionalized, I'd try to get some work there while I'm there.
I don't think that's how that works. I don't think it's like, paying your college tuition by becoming an RA. It's not like that.
Right. So
I'd work my way through the institution.
She runs to where she's squatting. She gets all her stuff. She leaves. Then she's eating a hamburger. She was talking
that's
to
where
Kurt.
I could relate.
Right.
She's talking
she's
to me?
eating a hamburger. Yeah, because she's talking to Kurt. And Kurt told her how important eating a burger is.
Yeah, and it's terrible. That's me after I do these like murder mystery shows. I'm somewhere in like middle Pennsylvania, and I got some like Wawa chicken parm sandwich, and I'm like, oh my god, no wonder my blood pressure's having trouble.
A sandwich from a mini mart. Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah,
I've done it. I've totally done it.
Nothing is good. It's just the road to disaster.
But okay, have you guys had Whataburger?
In Texas, yes.
Yeah, I've had it years. I mean, literally like 34 years.
Well, when you're on the road, I will say, here's the thing: Whataburger is the best burger to me.
Isn't there a location by LAX?
Do they?
I really wish.
I'm pretty sure there's a single Whataburger by LAX.
I looked it up. I really hope so. I would be so happy, but I've looked it up, and I'm pretty sure the clearest one is like Nevada or something.
I'm Googling it now.
Oh,
please tell me, because I'd be so. I will go right now.
Google GOOGLE.
I think there's no Whataburger.
Well, I'm getting my shit together. I'm gonna get my shit together because I'm a candidate for a clinical trial. This is true, like a university study where they're gonna get me eating healthier.
Tell us, Les.
They have their own app.
Oh, they are not in California.
So let's see. Whataburger.
I feel like I may have eaten there.
Nevada is the close one.
I think
I'm looking at all locations. So here we go. 90028. That's my zip code.
Great. Send Les a letter.
No, yeah, we'll boot that out. Don't send him a letter.
According to a KRON4.com from December of last year, Whataburger is located in 15 states, but not California.
Is it in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Should I go out now? What? Is it disdain for New Jersey?
I'm sorry, but yes, I'm a New Yorker, Kurt.
Wow.
I'm always going to disdain New Jersey. I apologize.
Bad news.
Yeah, they're opening one on the Strip in Las Vegas.
Oh.
Well. Oh, wait, hold on.
Well, when we do our Vegas Lifetime Hallmark show, we'll have to go to Whataburger.
That's good.
Yes.
Wayne Newton could go have a burger now.
Or we could go to Surprise, Arizona, which has one.
Surprise!
Arizona.
Oh, so anyway. So then, she's
Wow.
eating her burger in the car.
Yeah,
and
me
then
too. Crumbs all over the place. And, yeah.
Well, at that point, I think that's the least of her worries. She,
Paper.
She tried to kill someone.
The place looks like a murder scene if you eat a burger in it.
So she goes on to Plixagram. What is it called? Instapix.
Instapixer.
Instapics her and Natasha blocked her.
Yeah.
Damn.
And she starts screaming. She starts like bloody murder.
I do like in the middle of being low-key abducted, Natasha found time to block Chloe on Instapicture. Because this is all happening while Chloe's on this like creepy date where she doesn't have service.
She multitasks.
That's how mad Natasha was. Natasha's like, you try to kill the Bachelorette. How dare you? I'm blocking you.
She may have got a little service while she was having that picnic with his cuticles, whatever it was called.
So then we see Natasha, and she's doing a video telling everybody that she is taking a break.
I don't blame her.
She's taking a break. She needs to get to know herself. And she learned that she didn't know herself, so she's taking a break, and she's getting to know herself. Mm-hmm. And she does her video, and then she gets hit in the head
by someone wearing a black hoodie.
Yes, it's bad.
Oh no!
Sorry, Samantha.
I know.
That'll teach you for dissing New Jersey.
Wow! 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 Yeah.
So then,
that's quite vindictive.
You know the Statue of Liberty is in New Jersey.
Kurt, I don't care.
Did you know that Danny DeVito is from New Jersey? Bruce Willis.
So
Michael Landon.
Say you last.
So then she's in a box. So then we're back at the beginning. So yeah. Natasha's the one that's in the box.
Okay.
And then that's where like her hand pops out of the box.
Yeah.
She gets out of the box, and then Natasha is hiding under the car. Which, okay, why did you go under the car?
This whole sequence, like once we get to this point in the movie, it's like whoever was doing the editing of the movie was on like some really strong drugs, because everything's moving really frenetically, and there are these weird like jump edits and they're like jump zoom ins, and it was like what? Yeah. Why is this so weird and chaotic, even more so than the rest of the movie?
I don't understand what's happening.
It must be the only reason for the black hoodie.
I'm sorry?
So then...
It's the only reason for the black hoodie, I think.
Oh.
Let's see.
Not a fan.
So then Chloe shows up, and she's like, oh my God, Theo's coming back. We've got to go. We got to get out of here. And then Chloe tells her story, the lifetime monologue, the villain monologue, but then we don't know that she's a villain until Theo like falls out of a room and he's all tied up.
Yeah.
And Theo is like, hey, she kidnapped me. And Chloe's like, no, I didn't. You're crazy. And he's like, no, you're crazy. And then she starts so Chloe takes saran wrap and starts wrapping Natasha's mouth like an egg salad. Like how Kurt said earlier, she was wrapped like an egg salad. She starts it again.
Thank you.
But then Natasha hits Chloe. The cops come. Natasha's in an ambulance. Chloe gets arrested. And then we see Natasha, and she's talking to the first she does a goodbye message, and then she's talking to the Bachelorette. The Bachelorette is alive. And so she tells the Bachelorette that she's moving to a new city and she's going to get a fresh start. And so she moves into a new house, and then we see someone watching her, and it's Theo, and he's watching her. Like we see a box close, and I guess he put like a hidden camera in a box.
Put them all throughout her house.
Yeah. And then he's watching her all throughout her house. And that was it. So poor Natasha is never
watching. Surveillance. Yeah.
It made no fucking sense.
None.
I wanted to see her dead husband show up, but it wouldn't have made any sense. It would have been fine in the context of the rest of the thing. David? Yes. Cut the black.
Right.
That would have been the perfect ending for this movie. Just you're out of control anyway. Just keep it out of control.
This felt like they had, when they were coming up with this movie, they had a brainstorming session and they threw out a bunch of ideas, all which would be good strains of things to have embedded in the DNA of a Lifetime movie, but they didn't pay off a lot of it.
None of
They're on
it.
strains.
Because what I think that they should have done, because I did like the part where Chloe turned out to be the criminal, not Theo. I think they should have just left it at like she kidnapped Theo, whatever, they all got away, and then it kind of ended there. But by having Theo watching Natasha at the end, it kind of ruined that twist.
Well, they never cleared up the fact that he was creepy and it abducted, like it just, all of it was terrible. It was they couldn't
cool
figure out who they wanted the bad guy to
were,
be.
It's kind of cool at first because you didn't know where things were going, but then things were going anywhere.
Yeah, because they didn't know where things were going.
Right.
That was a busy 3 weeks.
They had so many opportunities to explain the backstory as to why Chloe was nuts, and they didn't. Because we don't know how the grandma died.
Right.
We don't know if the grandma really died 3 weeks ago. We don't know his motive. Like, we could have learned. That's why I said they could have split this up into several movies.
Right.
Yeah.
These strains of ideas.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
But I got to say this, and I always say this about Lifetime, this movie knew that they were crazy and they just kind of leaned into it. They didn't pretend to be anything else other than what it was.
Nope.
Another week.
That's that.
Another movie.
Here we are.
And
I will say that is the better part of Lifetime over Hallmark.
Right. Right. Exactly.
It actually feels a little bit like eating food that's bad for you. Like, there's some food that's bad for you, but it's packaged really nice. Like a box of Godiva chocolates is packaged really nice, and when you have it, you're like, but you might get one with a center that's kind of gross. Like, that's a Hallmark movie because it's like, it's packaged nice. Whereas like junk food, if we go for a 2 a.m. taco at Taco Bell, we know we're eating junk food.
Ooh.
They know it's junk food, and we're all okay with it. That's like
okay. So we had like Gordita Crunch this week, but like it was still delicious.
Yeah.
Some of us, I need to calm down.
We had like a delicious Gordita Crunch.
What's it called? The Crunch?
A Gordita
Crunch.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I had Taco Bell last night.
No, it's like bad Taco Bell, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would do that.
I had Taco
But
Bell.
all
dinner
Taco
last
Bell
night.
is good,
Thank you.
and they would make a great sponsor for a Lifetime of Hallmark podcast.
Yes.
Thank you, Jason.
I had 3 Taco Supremes on my way home. Jason and I were at soiree last night, and on my way home, we stopped by Taco Bell, and I ate scrumptious
Okay, good.
Taco Supremes.
No
Wonderful.
food at soiree, sounds like.
They were very good.
Kurt,
Soiree
what's your Taco Bell go-to?
I told you there's no Taco Bell. It's this good. I go to Wawa. I get these chicken parm sandwiches, and then I get like a Wawa mix
In
of
Jersey,
iced tea.
you never have Taco Bell?
Yeah, I don't think they have Taco Bell around where I am anymore. They used to.
Okay.
They turned it into like an
Fair enough.
AT&T place. It still looks like it's Taco Bell though.
Do you just get bad service?
Yeah.
Jason, what is your Taco Bell go-to?
I'm not a big Taco Bell person.
Thank
Like,
you.
I'll eat
Thank
it.
you.
Like, if I have friends that want to go, I don't mind it, but I have never once craved Taco Bell in my life.
Yeah, I don't crave it either.
And that's not that I am a snob about fast food. I
No.
love me some Panda Express.
You have
Ooh, I
Friendlies?
do love Panda Express too.
Do you have Friendlies and Denny's Yeah, those places.
I love Friendlies growing up.
I used to go to Friendlies all the time growing up. We don't have those out
Me
here,
too.
but we
have
do
a
have
couple.
Denny's.
There's one near here. Yeah, they got the Reese's Pieces Sundays.
Do you guys, are any of you guys in the South?
No, I'm not.
No. So, okay. Well, I went to college in the South. So for me, it's like Publix subs.
I know
Publix
of
sub.
the magic of Publix subs, but I've never
Yeah.
had one.
A Publix sub is like the best
Oh.
thing you can eat. Like, that's what I want. And Whataburger. But there's no Whataburger here. Like, those are the two things from the South that I really miss all the time.
There's a gas station called Royal Farms, and they have kind of like a nice little like restaurant in there. I was thinking about if I might bring a woman. I might bring a woman there on a.
Don't you dare!
No, do you dare? Do it and
No.
talk about it on this
Please don't
podcast.
take a woman to a gas
They
station.
got a nice little restaurant there.
Well, no.
It'd be my treat.
Good. Okay, good. But like, also no.
Oh, Kurt.
To a gas station?
I wouldn't.
But at least
cheap
it's a
out.
public place.
We wouldn't run out of
She's
gas.
never going to be unsafe because there's going to be like a constant stream of witnesses walking through.
That's true. And if a woman goes out with me, she wants to make sure she's in a public place. So
Yeah, why is she worried about witnesses?
she's not
I don't
being
know. We
kidnapped.
just watched a movie where that was part of the message.
It's not good. It's not good. Oh no.
I think it's good. I do.
Yeah, it's good for the podcast, but it's not
No.
good for like the real life.
People need to
Guys,
understand.
no.
I think
Kurt.
it's good.
Oh, Kurt, please take her to a real restaurant.
Royal Farm. There's
This
plenty of
is
parking.
very stressful. Please take her to a real place.
There's plenty of parking. Lucky girl.
Okay.
I
Well,
do
I think we should end it here.
like the
Yeah.
idea of it just because it's so absurd that it would be memorable as hell. And if it goes well, like what a hilarious, entertaining first date story you will have to tell for years.
Mm-hmm.
But there is the
Yeah.
flip side of it if it's super creepy.
Super creepy.
I don't think it's creepy. I don't.
It's creepy, Kurt.
It's definitely creepy. I love the idea, but it's creepy.
I love you, but also no, Kurt, no.
He's basking in this though.
Uh,
And
I got
on
some
that
weird-
end,
well,
I got some
Jason,
weird
take us
stories.
out.
I
Take us out, Jason.
this is Les. Like, where can people find you, Les?
if you want to find me, you can find me at my website, leskirkendallbarrett.com, or you can find me on Instagram at Kirkendall. By the way, if you are in Atlanta on the 19th, 20th, you can come and see my Black Swan, Confessions of America's First Black Drag Queen, as part of the Lavender Fest Atlanta. And for more information on that, you can go to outstage.com. Jason.
Please do us a favor, wherever you listen to us, whatever podcasting platform that is, go and like us, subscribe us, whatever they call it on that platform. Give us 5 stars, rate the podcast. It helps more people find us. And speaking of find us, you can find all of us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Lifetime of Hallmark Podcast. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Big Shot Jason. Kurt.
Oh, my one-man show, The Jester of All Maladies, will be playing at the very first Green Bay Fringe Festival this July. That'll be July 19th. And, oh, no. Doesn't look like it. I'm July 20th. Like 20th at 4 o'clock and 8:30 Eastern Standard. No, I don't think it's Eastern. Maybe Central. And then July 21st, 1 in the afternoon. And from beautiful state parks and glittering beaches to bustling cities that put you in the center of the action, there's a lot that makes New Jersey stand out. From being one of the early historic places of the United States, being home to state parks and natural wonders, New Jersey State is a special place. So come visit us.
And if you would like to be a sponsor, New Jersey Tourism, please reach out.
Visit Lucy the Elephant.
And
The
producer Samantha, do you want to be
Hi.
found?
Yes, find me at documenting_Samantha. But most important, like rate, subscribe. Please give us some reviews at Lifetime of Hallmark at Apple or Spotify, anywhere you can find us. Thank you so much. we appreciate you listening in.
And that's a good way to end.
Yeah.
So bye.
Yes, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.